Scott Brown here. In today's exciting episode, we're doing some small repairs. Scott Brown here. We're back at a familiar location. It's like an old friend. Visiting this place is like visiting an old friend. I'll show you some of the jobs. You might recognize them if you have been watching the channel for a bit. We did the plywood wall here, we did the floating shelf here, we even did the kitchen floor, and a new kitchen got put in after we'd renovated the whole area, bathroom. And yeah, we spent quite a bit of time here. We actually extended out the back as well. This was early in the channel, so we're back, and right now I'm back to do the last part of this renovation. We're doing the laundry. So we're not building the laundry today. I have to build it out of plywood, you know, keep with the theme, but we do have to do a bunch of things in the area before the laundry goes in. It's very similar to one of our recent jobs. We have an attic stair, and that's going in here, so that needs to be changed in terms of size. And to maximize the space here, we're going to take some of this back, and we're also going to put a little bit of a platform up there to utilize some storage space again. It's becoming my sort of MO, isn't it? Okay, a bunch of small jobs to do here. First and foremost, this post is clearly not in one piece. The owner just wants like a temporary repair. He doesn't want me to, you know, dig out the post and put in a new one. That would be the best way to repair it, but he's after something a bit more temporary. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and attach that to that temporarily. In an ideal world, I'd just be taking that post out, digging a hole, and pouring new concrete with the new post in it. But we just want to do a temporary repair. But I want to do the repair in a way where, if you do want to replace the post in the future, all you have to do is take some screws out, rather than cutting everything up again. So the plan is to turn it into a bit of a frame. Alright, buddy? Now, I have to stress, this is only a temporary repair. Especially how far down the split in the post is. The overlap at the bottom isn't quite enough to hold it for a long period of time. Temporary. There you go. That should hold for now. So I bought this pink timber here, along with the green timber that we just used on the fence. Basically, all structural timber in New Zealand is chemically treated. So we have the pink stuff that is H1.2, and the green stuff, it doesn't even say, Well, it doesn't say here, but it's H3.2. That H stands for hazard class, and when we did the bathroom here 3 years ago, we decided to use the higher grade stuff because on the other side of this wall is a bathroom, so any leaks, this would stand up a bit more than the pink stuff. But we usually use the pink stuff for internal wall framing. Alright, so this is the cupboard, and there's like a natural join here, I think a plaster join, and that's just over 500mm in, so that's more than enough for towels and sheets and stuff. So from here back, it's going. Check this out, all MDF. You're wondering why we have such heavily treated timber here in New Zealand? This pink stuff and the green stuff? It's a reaction to building practices such as this. In the 90s, things like this would be done. The internal wall frames built out of MDF. That's 20mm MDF there and 5mm MDF there. It's called tough wall. That's the patent pending, that's the name. Walls were getting built out of things like this. And we had a leaky building situation as well because the Mediterranean style of building was really popular in the 90s. But rather than copying Spain completely and building block wall houses with plaster on the outside, we built timber framed houses out of pine, and then we put cement board on the outside and plastered that. And then obviously what happens is the timber moves and twists with the heat, and that plaster cement board cracked and houses leaked. So as soon as I started building in 2004, that's when the scandal, for the lack of a better word, was in full swing. So yeah, when I started building, there was reclads going on left, right and center, and they're still happening all over the country. This over here is a good example of what I'm talking about. So that Mediterranean style there. I'm not saying that is a leaky house, I don't know, that could be a cement one with plaster clad on the outside, but it's got to a point now where it's so prevalent around New Zealand that even if you have a plaster house that was built the correct way, people don't want to buy it, and banks won't lend to you in order to buy it because of the reputation. It's crazy. So I've always wanted to do a full video about the leaky building thing. Maybe I'll do that in a future exciting episode, but for now I want to get something to eat. Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, good, thank you. Long time no see. I went with the filled ham roll rather than the pie, even though it's winter. Trying to eat a little bit healthier. Oh yeah, and at the end of episode 300, if you caught it, I mentioned that we want to build a brand new house start to finish on the channel at some point. And I said, if anybody has one here in Auckland or around New Zealand, get in touch. And I got a massive response from that. So I think that'll be something that we do maybe this time next year. Obviously we're set up here in Auckland, so we'll see where that goes. In the meantime, we actually have a gap in our schedule. A couple of plans fell through, we took a bit of time off, I had my injury. everything sort of went up in the air a little bit, so we have a gap in the schedule over the next few months for jobs here in Auckland. So if anybody has a project in mind that they can't find a builder for, I've got a link in the description below, and that's a link to my website. That's where I get work inquiries, so yeah, let me know. Now after this exciting filled roll, I'm gonna put that meter box that's over there up into the ceiling. There we go. Okay, data cables, routers, out of that wall into that ceiling. I'm glad the electrician owns this house. He's going to sort that out once I've got a little wall for him to put it into. So far so good with this Makita workbench. It's pretty much the same as the DeWalt one. I haven't tried it with the Festool drop saw yet. The arms on this are a little bit longer. The DeWalt arms weren't long enough for the Festool, but I'm hoping that these will work with the Capex. We have a wall for all of that stuff to come down to. It's gonna go about there. Now that it's all open, I'm gonna show the owner of the place, see what he thinks, you know, maybe move it, because we're gonna have this nice new laundry in here, and then you got this big pipe going down there. Not so good. So it's gonna be Scott Brown cabinetry very soon. I'm gonna make plywood, like a plywood bench with like plywood storage above, and it's gonna be a thing of beauty. I was very, very sad when I realized I had this problem. So you can adjust the height of the arms, that's fine. So that gets in there. But the little wee gap that I left inside there is narrower than the width of the new Makita stand. So it can't fit in there. Now that I've cleared the way, I've probably added another cupboard width of space for that laundry. We don't have that wasted space where the hot water cylinder used to be, so I think it's a win. Stay tuned for the next exciting episode, because we're going to catch up with Gaston, everyone's favourite hand tool guy, in the next exciting episode.